Hey everyone, Harris Rubenstein here with Cam Rogers. We have breaking news out of Dallas, Texas, as the Dallas Cowboys have officially released wide receiver Dez Bryant after a pretty tumultuous offseason. We didn't really know which way the Cowboys were going to go. Were they going to offer him a pay cut? Were they going to outright release him? And this morning, after a meeting with owner Jerry Jones, Dez Bryant is a Cowboy no longer. Cam, you expected this on your show, but owner of the Cowboys Report, Tom Downey, said no, he didn't think it was going to happen. Here we are, and he's also going to be a pre-June 1st cut. What do you make of all this?
So this is a very interesting situation. So the expectation going into this morning was that Jerry Jones was going to sit down with Dez Bryant and discuss a possible pay cut. Now, something happened before that meeting where obviously Dez Bryant made it apparent he was not going to take that pay cut. Jones simply says, "I'll see you later," and Dez drives off from the Star and moves on into the open market, into free agency. You're right, Harris. I have been saying for many months now that the Dallas Cowboys should cut Dez Bryant. It comes down to return on investment, and I've been arguing this many times. He was due $12.5 million for the 2018 season. For a guy who has not eclipsed 69 catches or 900 yards in a season since that $70 million contract in 2015. Now, Harris, football, ultimate team sport, I understand that, but you're getting paid $12.5 million. Odell Beckham Jr. is due $8.5 this year. You just kind of compare those two salaries and, you know, the production that is made on the field by Dez and Odell, for example. Dez is not worthy of a $12.5 million number. That's just a fact. And it came down to financials. We can say all we want about how much Jerry Jones loves Dez Bryant. I'm sure this is a very difficult decision for him, Harris.
We've talked a lot about how Jerry Jones and Dez Bryant have a very close relationship, how it was really Stephen Jones versus Jerry Jones. Yep. Stephen Jones is Jerry Jones' son, who was talking about wanting to release Dez Bryant, whereas Jerry did not want to. And also, if you take a look at the Cowboys wide receiver depth chart, without Dez Bryant, it's not that pretty. Now have Cole Beasley. They just signed Allen Hurns a couple of weeks ago. They also got Deontay Thompson this offseason. You added with Terrence Mitchell, and all of a sudden you're missing a pretty important piece at the top of this offense in terms of #1 wide receiver. Obviously, he led the entire team in receiving yards last year. Cam, this is a guy who has been on the decline for the past couple of years. He can't stay on the field. He's been pretty dramatic both on and off the field. We've seen him many times, and there was a pretty memorable part of last year where he kept asking, "Throw me the ball, throw me the ball, throw me the ball," and then they throw him the ball. He would fumble. He would drop it. The pass would get picked off of a tip off of his hands. It was a very bad season overall for Dez Bryant. By the way, please get your comments and reactions in for how you are feeling about the Cowboys releasing Dez Bryant. Dez has tweeted out saying, quote, "Let's start the process. Hashtag unbothered, hashtag throw up the X." We also have the video of Dez Bryant leaving the Star in his pretty fancy car, might I add to you, and we'll get that video to you guys in a second. But please throw us a comment. What do you think about Dez Bryant getting cut? We're getting plenty of comments flowing in right now. Cam, let's take this from a Cowboys on the field perspective. Yep. Are they going to take a step forward or a step back? A logjam might have been cleared up a little bit. Now they can bring in a younger wide receiver to lead the top of that receiving core.
We have to start in between the ears. From a mentality standpoint, if you are a Dallas Cowboys fan, you may be a little broken up about moving on from the Dez Bryant era, but this is an opportunity to usher in new wide receivers to maybe make that offense a little more dynamic. And like I said, Harris, the lack of production from Dez Bryant isn't solely on Dez. It's the offensive line from a year ago that struggled, especially when Tyron Smith went out. It's the Zeke Elliott suspension. It's Dak Prescott missing a couple throws here and there. But we knew this from, you know, a few months ago. The Cowboys were in the market for wide receivers. Right. They reportedly made, some sort of bid for Sammy Watkins. Of course, you mentioned Hurns and Deontay Thompson coming on over. And then there are rumors that the Cowboys are interested in the likes of DJ Moore and Calvin Ridley at number 19 overall in that first round. So from an on-the-field perspective, to answer your question, I'm kind of filibustering here for a reason. I will say that they probably will not be as good as last year to start. This is going to be a process. Just as Dez said in his tweet, it's a process for him to find that next team. It's going to be a process for the Cowboys to utilize their new toys there on the outside and try to get them to mesh with Dak Prescott. It's going to take time for DJ Moore, if they draft him, to perform well. It's going to take time for Allen Hurns to get comfortable. Deontay Thompson, the list goes on. But I think in the long run, Harris, this is the right move. Now, what's peculiar is It's a pre-June 1st cut, which means the Cowboys don't save as much money against the salary cap as they would if Dez was a post-June 1st cut. That, according to Todd Archer there of ESPN. One of the weirder moves there.
Yeah, we'll get back to you in just a second. Cam Rogers, Harris Rubenstein, as always here on the Cowboys Report. We are sponsored by The Guild, a new concept in luxury hospitality in Austin, Texas. Taking a trip to Austin, you got to stay with The Guild. Luxury lodging at its best. Residential buildings all over Austin. It's like a luxury Airbnb without it being really creepy. Visit stayguild.com and use promo code ChatSports for 15% off your stay. All right, Cam, let's take it back to what the Cowboys are looking for at that wide receiver depth chart.
Yeah.
Cole Beasley, Allen Hurns, Deontay Thompson, Terrence Williams, and then Noah Brown, and then a couple more practice squad guys. Outside of Ryan Switzer, who's actually the primary punt returner, you have KD Cannon and Lance Lenoir. So, Cam, we've talked a lot about how this is going to do for the Cowboys going forward. Let's go to what they could do in the draft in order to maybe shore up that wide receiver position. Our own Tom Downey has given us a couple of options that the Cowboys could look into. So 3 that we have here on the board: Calvin Ridley, DJ Moore, and Cortland Sutton, all probable first-round picks as we head into the NFL draft in a couple weeks.
Yeah, I like Calvin Ridley a lot. Probably the most polished wide receiver heading into this draft. DJ Moore has, wait for it, Sammy Watkins type of physicality, of size, of ability. And, oh, wait, the Cowboys tried to sign Sammy Watkins, so DJ Moore makes a lot of sense out of Maryland at number 19. Cortland Sutton, a physical wide receiver out of SMU. You know, the competition that he faced there playing for the Mustangs, you know, doesn't really compare to the Ridleys and the DJ Moores of the world. But obviously, I would probably put a good chunk of money on one of those 3 wide receivers going to the Dallas Cowboys at number 19 overall. But you could look at the second round and, you know, in the third round, et cetera, and there's some names there. Christian Kirk out of A&M. You got Washington, who's more of a deep threat out of OK State. Gallup, DJ Shark. A lot of people like to throw around Shark there out of LSU, a good player as well. A lot of options in the draft, Harris. The Cowboys don't have to, you know, go crazy and select at number 19 overall DJ Moore or Calvin Ridley. Like, if they feel they like a Christian Kirk or a DJ Shark, they can wait a little bit. Maybe Vita Vea falls to them at 19. They address the one technique there on the inside instead. There are a couple paths that the Cowboys could take here. And
mind you, in the journalist-led mock draft that Chat Sports held this week, I should say, we had Katie Drummond from the Cowboys Wire say that he thinks the Cowboys are going to draft DJ Moore. So like you said before, that Sammy Watkins comp probably is going to entice the Cowboys to make a move there. But one more time for the people at home, we have breaking news today that the Dallas Cowboys have released wide receiver Dez Bryant after a wild offseason of wondering what they were going to do over at the Star. Dez Bryant had a meeting this morning with Jerry Jones, and the outcome of that has his release from the Dallas Cowboys. I'm Harris Rubenstein. That is Cam Rogers. If you missed anything, don't worry. We're going to put it on loop for you guys so you can catch the breaking news update. But for Lena Bond behind the camera and Cam Rogers next to me, we'll see you.